Suzanne Kinney.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman Kaiser and members of the committee. Thank you for adding me into the agenda today. I'm Suzanne Kinney. I am the CEO of the Arizona chapter of NAIOP. We're an association that represents developers of office, industrial, multifamily, retail, medical, all types of commercial real estate. We've got about 20,000 members throughout the United States and Canada, and over 1,000 of those are here in the state of Arizona. So one of the fun things about coming at or near the end of the agenda is that I need to keep you all awake and try not to be too redundant with what anyone else has said. So I will do my best to be concise and bring a bit of a different perspective to this issue, and that's the perspective of economic development and business attraction. So NAIOP's developers, investors, and brokers are regularly talking to companies around the country and more frequently even beyond our borders about to those companies that are considering where to expand their business, whether it's opening their next office or e-commerce distribution center or manufacturing facility. So historically, affordability of housing has been a key advantage for Arizona relative to competitor markets such as those in Southern California, which we've heard a lot about, and that is changing. But our peer markets for future economic development growth are Dallas, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Atlanta. Those are markets that have not had the same challenges with cost of housing as California has. But if we don't provide a steady supply of affordable housing, we will fall behind those competitors, and that will affect our opportunities looking forward to attract new businesses. Our members are hearing about companies that are concerned as to where their employees will live. So today's big announcement from TSMC is great news. 4,500 direct workers, 10,000 overall if you include the suppliers that are expected to come, and 10,000 good construction jobs. That's just the first of two phases. There could be several more stages before full build out. So in addition to TSMC buying up entire apartment buildings near their factories, their suppliers are looking to Pinal County, Casa Grande, even out in Coolidge, for their operations, and they're going to need sufficient housing for their employees. These units need to go up quickly, and under the current processes for rezoning, permitting, water rights, infrastructure, and so on and so forth, it's going to take too long to get these units online. We're likely to see these workers in temporary trailers and so forth. We did hear from Lucid, but between them and Nicola, we're looking at about 7,800 jobs in electric and autonomous vehicles. Another 3,800 are projected in other advanced manufacturing areas. So a lot of growth coming to that area and other parts of the state. So the population growth has exceeded projections in most cities' general plan, especially given our post-pandemic growth and success in attracting jobs over the last decade or more. We can't meet this need for housing unless we do denser development and more multifamily development. We just had a conversation on this, but rent is a function of basic supply and demand. More units coming on to the market will at least restrict the rate of increase for older units. Those new units absorbing that kind of top of the market Class A demand will allow those older units to remain more affordable. They may not decline in cost, but what we're looking at right now are rents continuing to grow up and that problem becoming more severe. So one thing, we always hear is let's stop the bleeding before we can fix what's going on with the patient. And building more housing is a big piece of that. So we can't wait to take action to remove the barriers to building more housing if we wish to continue attracting employers. Greater Phoenix is on the cusp of becoming a true Tier 1 city, which is really exciting, and we should hopefully all be glad that we're getting to that point. we do have the benefit of learning from older cities that achieved that status long ago. And those learnings include what not to do. In this case, don't put up artificial barriers to building new housing at all price levels. And don't impose complex schemes that have failed elsewhere. Do be realistic that growth is coming, and do be prepared for it by building now. So those are my comments. I know that Jake and others have asked for some specific solutions. So there are a few things that come to mind to get started. One is for cities to accurately project their housing needs and put plans in place to meet those needs. Because things have changed so rapidly, a lot of municipalities have plans that were based on outdated population figures. And the housing can simply not be met by single-family detached homes alone. It's going to mean denser, more density, more units, and a given plot of land, and much of that being multifamily. Consider designating areas in cities to fast-track the multifamily permitting process. This is an idea that comes from a member in the multifamily sector specifically. Again, I've heard these frustrations over and over that it's taking too long, and sometimes by the time they get through the project, the financing falls through or it doesn't make sense anymore. I think my friend Jake had mentioned 6% of land being allocated to multifamily, and I believe it's even worse because that's just land in cities. That's not all land. Cities are a very small proportion of all land in our state, with most of it being federal or tribally owned. So if you look at the state overall, the amount that is currently zoned for multifamily housing is far less than even the numbers that Jake mentioned. So with that, I will answer any questions that I can help with.
Any questions from the committee? That's great. Thank you so much.
All right, well, I think the prior speaker may have helped me out by answering those questions.
Thank you.